from everyone. I'd have my phone disconnected. I stayed away from everyone. And even my dad would call and try and figure out where I was, and I would hide. I did have moments like that, and I wasn't going through those. I guess you call them episodes almost.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
They were. You don't really think. You don't really think. You just kind of go into survival mode. You just kind of stay away from everyone, completely isolate yourself because you feel like that's the only way you can be safe. And just certain things in that idea, I saw body parts, and human flesh looks very close to pork, and I won't touch. I used to eat Isley's all the time. I won't eat it anymore. Even looking at it, going by a deli, I get nauseated.
Right.
Looking at it,
and those are things those will stick with you. I mean, that's something that could stick with you your whole life, and it becomes a matter of, you know, the coping skills and the techniques, you know, we work on
I've also
to get
noticed,
through those.
Yeah, I've also noticed my sense of smell has been incredibly heightened since all this. I can smell, if I know I can smell something's rotting from almost a mile away. You know, the smell of like flesh, like rotting flesh. You know, I can smell if there's like mold or anything. I can go into a house and smell it, and I can bet this house has been in a fire before. Because my sense of smell is like literally that heightened. That is one thing I've noticed. Certain movies I can't watch anymore, like gore movies or horror or war movies. Even that will bring back triggering episodes, and that happened to me when I watched the movie Black Hawk Down. It was about, but you've seen it,
right?
Yeah, I can't watch that movie. I remember I watched it. I was able to watch it before any of this ever happened. After all this, I remember I tried watching it on Netflix again, and I had to turn it off. I had to turn all the lights off in my house. I had to be under my bed in a blanket. And I just had to I had to keep my mindset like I'm in bed, I'm in my house, I'm totally safe, nothing's going to happen. I had to keep thinking that over and over and over again until I went to sleep.
And all these things you're describing, you know, what you're explaining, we see, it's a common thing. You know, it's a common thing with PTSD, and troops returning home from, you know, one tour to 4 tours.
Yeah.
And the thing I want you to know is that I'm optimistic, and I want you to be optimistic, and you know, stay positive about this, because it will get better. The medications, when you see our doctor, that you'll discuss with him, that's just going to be a small part of the battle for this. What's going to get you better, the medications are going to help, don't get me wrong. They're going to help with the sleep and the nightmares and the anxiety and the condition as a whole. But it's going to be, you know, our counseling sessions and the
active treatment that helps.
Right, the cognitive therapy, and, you know, we're going to work on breathing techniques. We're going to work on, you know, when you encounter a situation, what's X, Y, and Z that I learned to do to cope with this, or put myself in a comfortable place. And not that you'll get comfortable with those types of situations, but you'll be able to deal with them and cope better, to where, you know, our ultimate goal here is to where you have a sense of normalcy outside of military life, and we can.
I am aware that
get you back into civilian life and functioning.
I'm aware that I am having issues, and I'm aware that I do have trouble functioning in day-to-day life.
And that's a huge first step for you to take. That's a huge step you've been taking.
I also know that if I don't seek help now, I'm going to end up in a locked unit with restraints on me or whatever. And I don't want that to happen, so that's why I'm here.
And that's fantastic that you're able to acknowledge that, because a lot of people aren't, and they want to mask. A lot want to mask their issues with this, and, you know, any kind of mental health issue that somebody may be experiencing. A lot of people will mask it with their own self-medication, whether it be, you know, drugs and alcohol or whatnot, whatever they feel comfortable in their skin that takes them away from something. But we're running out of time here. I did want to touch base real quick before I have you go out and schedule with the therapist. From your experiences, do you have fear, shame, or guilt in any way that you think has been more of a contributing factor to this, or is it more of you're okay with that lifestyle that you had led and it's just adapting now?
I totally have no problem with what we did over there. It was a job that we had to do it, and we followed orders. What we did over there has definitely made this country a lot safer. And I feel like we've all did our job and we all followed orders. And we just did we do what we were told. That's how it is in the military. You may not agree with some of the actions, but you follow them anyway.
Right. So you haven't been one to question any of the politics behind it, or the you know, any specific missions, or, you know, why are we here, and, you know, what are we doing? It's been more for you just
we all felt the same
typical
way. It was our job and we had to do it.
Okay, well, I'm going to have you schedule a follow-up appointment, and, you know, I think we're on a good page here with, you know, how we want to go about this and the path you're going to go down as far as, you know, receiving the treatment. And you also want to bring the VA into this, into it as well. They have, you know, other services.
Yes.
Many services they offer too, and I mean the more you're willing to put into it, you know, the more you're gonna be helped.
Yes.
And obviously that's a benefit for you. So if you want to go to see the receptionist on your way out, and I have your information documented here, and I'll see you. Tell her I want to see you again in another 2 to 3 weeks. When
Okay.
she's available.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, boss.
All right. Stay positive.
Keep the glass half full, right?
Yep. Always. For digital interview stage 4, evaluation and termination stage of the social work plan change helping process, which you just saw, the interview skills incorporated, case specific were core qualities, the genuineness that you had with the client, open-close discussion questions, which were submitted and included in the interview, self-disclosure, enhanced my relationship with the client to see them and treat them for more in the future, further next appointment already scheduled, value clarification, where we're going to incorporate different psychotherapy techniques, increasing this client's awareness of the values bearing on his lifestyle decisions and actions, and a chance for him to reflect and improve on his PTSD, unofficially diagnosed, and the immediacy follow-up, which will be focused on using the here and now therapeutic relationship, and it doesn't look like this client by any means was telling me what I wanted to hear just to hear it. They seem sincere and honest about it, and obviously their awareness about their situation, and you know, basically admitting that there's an issue there is this first big step that we'll take with them. And that concludes the interview. Thank you.